All right. Dream journal, right? And I've already recalled the dream to my mom because when I spent the night at my mom's last night, we stayed over there, watched Super Bowl. You know what I mean? I was crunked up. I hadn't watched football in a long time, and it was fun. Got to spend some time with family, and we made burgers. And my sister in law happened to bring some Impossible meat, right? It's all vegetarian burgers, and they were super good. So I was able to snack and eat stuff that that I like, right, without going the meat route, right. So it was beautiful, a beautiful energy. I had this badass cake ice cream. It was so good. I ate me a nice little slice of it. And I'm like, oh that oh no that cake. Okay, speed that cake ice cream so good. Speed, it was so good. I'm so blessed, right, to have tasted it. It was just amazing, right. Anyways, right. My evening was great, right? So my mom's like, spend the night with me. And I'm like, all right, I wanted to come home, but I know sometimes she don't like to be alone. She wants to have somebody there. So I was already there, was already relaxed on the couch. Um, 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 I was already there, chilled out, right? So I was like, all right, I was like, I'll stay the night. You know what I'm saying? Just drop me off because she works right across the street from my apartment. So I was like, she could drop me off in the morning. Plus, I had some stuff to do today, so it worked out perfect, right? So my dream, okay, so when I became aware in the dream, I was in this place. It felt like a safari adventure kind of place, right? My grandma was there, and there was like different levels to this place, right, where you go and adventure. And in one place it was like where all this water, it kind of felt like a theme park, but it wasn't a theme park, right. It didn't feel like a theme park. It felt too natural. Like it didn't feel like it was mechanics going on behind the scenes of all this stuff happening. But there was parts where all this water comes in this one place where it's like water is flowing underground somewhere, is in like this cave type thing, and it gets filled up with water, so you have to hurry up and get out of there. Well, I meet this guy, right? Turns out to be Tom Hanks's son, right? And it's crazy because I here lately have been having a lot of dreams with a lot of actors. Like I had Little Wayne in one of my dreams the other day, and people that I used to listen to or jam out or watch, and Tom Hanks' son. I've seen his movies, right, and it was crazy because I knew it was Tom Hanks' son, right, but he looked like the little bit younger Tom Hanks. He didn't look like the way the son looks, right, but it was his son, right, and so we get together, and where they're doing all these adventures and stuff together. And he's telling me he loves me. He's like, I love you, and I want to be with you. He tells my grandma, he's going to marry me, and he wants to be with me the rest of his life. And it's beautiful, right? This beautiful, amazing energy. And we go off to these other, we go off on all these different kind of like safari adventures, and these different kind of adventures in these different places, right, in these out wild places, right. And then at one place he gets real sick. I'm there tending to him, but I also go off to go I think to go see my grandmother, to go do something, and then I come back and he's like ready to leave me. Like he doesn't want to be with me no more after this. Like he's done. He's just like, I don't want to be with you no more. I can't do this with you. And I'm just like, what happened to us being in love and everything was just beautiful? Like what happened to that? Like everything was so great. Like why are you, like what's wrong with you now? And he had money, so in the back of my mind I was figuring maybe it was money situation. And he was I don't know, scared I was going to take his money, but in the dream it didn't feel like that, right? So I don't know if that was the energy. But well, at least at this point in the dream I didn't realize what the energy was, right? Of course I find out later on in the end, right? So he leaves me, he breaks up with me, he goes off with some other guy, and not to be with that guy, but they go off on their own little adventures, and I'm just devastated. I'm so hurt because I was, because he had gotten sick, and I was sitting there tending to him while he got sick. Like I was taking care of him. Like my every waking moment was to tend to him, right? Which is crazy because when before, when I would be with somebody, that's the energy that Jack would put into a relationship, is I'm putting my all and everything into you. And what I didn't realize is that in a lot of relationships I was feeding out all the energy, but I was not receiving any of the energy back. There was no reciprocation, there was no encircling. It wasn't a healthy balance of giving and receiving, in almost all of my relationships, right. And to be honest, some of them, yeah, I was probably taking more, than what I needed, but there was a lot of them where I just gave it all. I put in my 100 and didn't receive back, and maybe that was karma for the times that I didn't, or maybe it's just those relationships weren't serving me right. It was like in these places, right? So, in awareness and understanding, and to be truthful about where I've been at in relationships in those spaces, right? And so then he leaves and he takes off, and like I said, I'm so hurt, I'm so devastated. And then I'm out with some homegirls, and we're at this other safari type place, and doing the work that we do. We're out there just adventuring, and through the whole dream, I didn't realize what we were out there doing. I just knew we were doing some kind of work out there. It was something we were doing that was positive. It felt good. It didn't feel shady. You know what I'm saying? And we weren't doing no magic or nothing like that. It wasn't that type of adventures. We weren't out there summoning energies or nothing like that. This was more like we were doing work for the planet, right? And then comes to a point later on in the end where he, and this is after him breaking it off with me and him hurting me and all this stuff. And then I find him at one of these retreat type places, these safari type places. And then I found out he was only trying to get in with me because of the ivory. He was trying to, in other words, and I didn't see nobody kill no elephants, right? But in other words, they were just trying to, what do they call it when like poaching, like a poacher. Thank you, Spirit. I was trying to think of the word, right? Like a poacher, like where they go out and hunt these animals for either their skin or whatever, you know what I mean? Like for example, for the elephants, it'd be for their tusks, for the ivory, right? So when I found this out, I caught him out there with some other guy that they were out there, poaching these elephants, right? Like I said, I'd never seen it. But when I went up, I caught him and went up behind him, and I said, I know why you fucking left me. And I know why you're here. It's because of the ivory. Because you were wanting to get closer to the ivory, and I wasn't going to let you, or I was going to be in your way, because I would not have allowed that, because that's not the work that I do. We're not here to hurt these animals. You know what I mean? Type situation. You know what I'm saying? So it was like this whole situation, like he was there and his intentions were negative. His intentions were not for the greatest and highest good of all. You know what I'm saying? Like my intentions were to serve humanity, the earth, the animals, everything. Right. And his was just out there to do some dirty shit with it. You know what I'm saying? And they were just wanting to take the ivory and steal it. And I don't know if maybe we had ivory. Like I said, I never seen no elephants get hurt or nothing like that, right? I didn't see any of that, but for some reason, I knew who was just there for the ivory. Maybe we had a lot of stash of ivory there. Maybe we knew where people were keeping ivory. You know what I mean? Maybe I knew something, right? But I didn't feel like we were actually out there hurting any animals. Maybe it was just, if we found an animal that was hurt, we'd put the ivory up and save it. You know what I mean? It would be sacred to us at that point, because once an animal passes, and if we choose to use the ivory from an animal, from the elephant that has just passed, that's sacred in that space. We didn't kill it. These were natural causes of death. And if we take something, of course you ask, it's just like, may I have these? May I get blessed with these? May I bless myself with these? Is spirit blessing me with these things, right? Because one time I found an armadillo. It was gone. It had been gone, but it had been sitting out, drying out. So I took the shells. The shell, I took pieces of the shell and I broke it down in little pieces, and I could make rattles out of it. It was really cool. At that point, it was like it was already gone. So I sat there grateful and in prayer and in gratitude, and healing for this animal spirit, for whatever, for their next journey and their next adventure, that they may live a full life, right? And so then I was like, okay, I could take it. It's not like I went and killed the armadillo just to get the shell. You know what I mean? Like that I wouldn't have done, right? I don't condone killing of animals, in any type of way, like whatever way that it is. I don't condone any kind of killing of animals for nothing, because even vicious animals. It was so crazy because I was watching alligator something. They were hunting alligators or something, and I'm like, let me see if I could look at this, right? So then I'm watching it, and they're there, and then when they shoot the alligator, I saw the man shoot him, and then they pick him up and throw him on top of the boat, and I'm just like, I hurt. And I know that alligators can be vicious animals. You know what I mean? I know this. But at the same time, if you don't bother them, they don't bother you. And every animal, thank you, spirit, every animal, every insect has a purpose to help keep our ecosystems balanced. Even roaches, they have a purpose. Even mosquitoes, they have a purpose. Even even deadly animals, they have a purpose. There is a purpose for them to be here. There's a purpose for our ecosystems to stay in balance, having them here. Even what I was spirit was even showing me, even ants. Because my mom has a lot of ant piles, so we have to kind of be careful right there. She's like, oh, I'm gonna put some salt on them, and I'm just like, Mom, don't do that. It's you know what I'm saying. It's the way I look at it is that they're there in the ground for a reason. All insects, all animals, even us, we all have a purpose why we stand and walk here. I don't think it's for anybody to take its life or to feel like, oh, go kill it. And I understand some people are in fear of them, right? They get scared of them, or sometimes you get an infestation and then you have to clear the infestation. Hey, I totally get it. Termites and stuff like that, right? So I understand, right? There in some spaces I understand when there's an infestation, you gotta fucking tend to that shit. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it's entering in your home and this is where you dwell and you sleep, right? But for these animals that we're going into their habitat, like when I seen these alligator hunters or whatever they were doing, when I seen them and they went in there and the moment that they killed that alligator, I was just like, oh, I felt it, like it hurt right here. I felt it in my heart. Even though this TV show might have been filmed years ago, I felt it like if it had just happened because I was witnessing it. And I was like, oh man, I can't watch this. None of one of them. I said, Mommy, because I was at my mom's, right? I was like, Mommy. She goes, what? I was like, they killed a little alligator, Mom. And she's like, Jack, they could kill somebody. I said, only if somebody's playing in their backyard. Only if you go playing around in their waters, that they're there, and you want to go swimming, you look like food. They don't know that. In truth, right? You don't know what they look like. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, how do you know? It's not like they're like, oh, let's go hunt this human and kill this person. They don't have thought like that. You know what I'm saying? Their brain and the way that they function doesn't understand that. All they see is food. They're in survival because this is what they do. They're hunters. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, it's like this is how they feed themselves. This is how they feed their young. This is how they take care of themselves. Just like everybody else does. We have to work, we hustle, we go make our money, we do what we got to do. We got to put groceries in our refrigerator. We're more conscious of right and wrong than they are, right? And yeah, it was just real hurtful. So then when I found out, oh boy, was just wanting to be out there because he was trying to, get all this ivory or whatever. Then I realized like he wasn't for me. This guy was not for me because he was just out there trying to see, because the thing is from what my understanding is that, if we go off and kill a whole bunch of the same animal, that's also us unbalancing our ecosystems. That's us unbalancing the flow and the food chain and the cycle of life, right? For ourselves, right? Like I feel like that creates an imbalance. You know what I'm saying? That creates an imbalance in that space, and also too, from my understanding, right? Don't quote me on none of this, but anytime that you kill or murder an animal, that opens up a space to allow energies to come forth. You know what I'm saying? That's you open spaces up for that, right? And this is just from what I feel, what I've been shown, and I could be wrong. Maybe this could not be true, and maybe it could be true. But for me, I feel like it is truth. I feel like the sacrificing of an animal, especially done, in a way that it's more savage, because I feel like when you're just out there, shoot it, get it, let's get it out this water. What are you gonna do? Kill all of them? Then there's gonna be none. Then what are you gonna do with your life?
You know what I mean? It's just like, you'll make an animal go extinct like that because you're off killing all of them. You can't find all the gators in the waters, right? You can't go and kill them all off, even if you're doing it for clothes or for shoes, or you know what I mean, stuff like that. Like, I feel like no animal should have to die so that we could clothe ourselves. Like, now, thank you, spirit. Now, back in the day when there was not mini malls and fashion designers and people who were, just fishing out abundant amount of clothes everywhere, and we didn't have that. And hey, if we had to survive off of eating an animal and using their hide as blankets, hey, I totally get that. I totally understand. Hey, by all means, I totally understand that, right? But nowadays, we don't need to do that. There's so many other ways for us to be able to survive without having to use animal products, animals in our clothing, or animals. You know what I'm saying? To even to feed us, right? And this is just in a space, and this is just me sharing my sharing my thoughts on the situation, right? Maybe somebody has a different thought on that. And if you do and you want to share your comment of it, like, I'm grateful to hear whatever you have to say from another point of view, of somebody else's point of view, right? Because we all look at things differently. We all stand in a different um aspect of the whole, right? So it's beautiful to hear someone else's point of view and side on a situation. And I'm always open to hear what somebody else has to say. um Keep it within reason. Let's keep it friendly. You know what I mean? If even if it's something that maybe might get you heated, hey, I honor you. We want to hear what you have to say. If it is something that you want to share, right? But these are just like my thoughts and what I experienced, and it was so crazy because this guy just, like, really, he hurt me. I was so hurt. I was so hurt by it, like putting my all into him and tending to him and taking care of him, and then he turned out just to be using me in a space, and like I said, I've experienced that, many times. A lot of experienced that, and at the same time, I'm not a victim. Thank you, spirit. I'm not sitting here as a victim, like, oh, they all hurt me. No, at the same time, I kind of was allowing it. Maybe deep down I knew they were just using me. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, you know what I mean? Maybe I knew that was going on, somewhere subconsciously. Maybe I knew it, and maybe just not consciously, because I was not conscious back then, right? I was not aware of myself and my energy and my thoughts and what I was accepting and allowing into my field, right? So, even then, maybe I allowed some of it. Maybe I allowed some of those things to happen the way that they did, right? And just to have, because at that point, I'm just wanting to have somebody with me. I'm wanting to be in a relationship. I want to be with somebody. So sometimes, hey, we do whatever it is necessary, just so that we have what we want, right? Whether it's healthy for us or not, right? Thank you, spirit. I'm super grateful. Sending love and healing. Thank you, spirit. Let's do that real quick. Sending love and healing, some of that beautiful Reiki energy, um to anybody who got, thank you, spirit, who got wounds from relationships where you were being used, you knew you were being played, right? Let's send love and healing to that, to those wounds, right? Let's dig those wounds out with love, right? As I send this love out, right? May it be shared through all of us. May that love come in and dig out those wounds and pull those wounds out so that they can go into the ethers and be transmuted, right? So they can be transmuted back into love, right? The wounds will turn them into some positive energy, right? We will transmute it and create it into something beautiful and positive. And anybody carrying wounds from being in relationships, being married, spending years, putting effort and time and energy into someone, and not receiving back what you should be, where it's like, damn, I wasted all this time. Why was I there, or whatever it is. And the wounds, thank you, spirit, the wounds that come from that, right? I want to send love and healing to those wounds for y'all. I want to send peace of mind to y'all. I want to send that today's a new day, and you can learn to face wherever that hurt is, That way you can start letting it go. That way you can start releasing what needs to be released. And may those wounds be released, right? And I send that beautiful energy out to y'all guys. Heart chakra open for y'all guys, right? Just sending that love to y'all. Boom, 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 boom. Sending that love. Sending that love. It's all coming from the heart. It's all coming from the heart. Yes, Spirit. Send that love, Spirit. Sending that love. Sending that love. Sending that love. Sending that love. And sprinkles with some little pixie dust to just fill your energy, filled with beautiful energy. I'm so grateful. Yeah, sending love and healing to those places and those spaces. Sending just beautiful heart chakra, right? I've just been in this beautiful love energy here lately, like I said. And we're getting close to Valentine's. Valentine's Day is tomorrow. Plus today, thank you, Spirit. Today is the 13th, right? And 13 is the universal number for love. So we're sending this love out. We're sending this just beautiful, just, you know what I'm saying? Reiki energy, heart chakra, right? Love out, right? Boom. There you go. Boom. There you go. Let that just let that beautiful love just encircle y'all guys, right? And I'm so grateful, so honored, so blessed, right? So guided, so supported, so honored. Honor, heart bow to y'all guys, right? Heart bow to anybody who's experienced those wounds. Heart bow to anybody who's healed those wounds. Okay, anybody who's healed those wounds. Anybody who's healed those wounds so much that it's just like you so comfortable in your skin now that can't nobody do you like that no more. That's power. Stand in your power. You know what I'm saying? That's you took your power back and said, oh, that nigga might have got me, but this next one's not. I won't allow this next one to just use me. Right? Situation, right? Sending that love to y'all. And that's power right there. Anybody who's healed those wounds by themselves, right? We're going to send love to y'all guys, and I heart bow to y'all, right? And I heart bow to anybody who's still experiencing it. And thank you, Spirit, who's still experiencing it and is moving through the energy and learning to work themselves out of that energy, or that are coming into the awareness now that they deserve more and deserve better, right? Heart bow to y'all guys too, because, you know, I know when you're burly in that energy and you're trying to figure out, do I leave? Do I stay? What should I do? Right? And I'm not here to give anybody relationship advice, and that's not why I'm here. But when you come into the awareness that you are deserving of anything and everything that you want, and if you're not receiving that, then it's time for you to reevaluate your situation, right? Heart bow to you, because I know that's when it's not easy. When you're in the middle of it and it's just, you know, you're experiencing it at the moment, right? A heart bow to you, right? Heart bow to you. Heart bow to anybody experience that, anybody helping somebody who is experiencing that, right? Heart bow to y'all guys too. Y'all are powerful too, right? Grateful for y'all for holding space, you know what I'm saying? Or if you're sitting there not holding space for somebody you know is going through those cycles, because those are cycles we experience, the cycles, right? These are cycles that we go through, you know, relationship cycles, you know, we're always kind of dealing with the same thing. Or maybe, you know, we have mommy and daddy issues. You know, maybe we have that needy issue where we feel like we need somebody there all the time, you know, or you know, some type of situation in that space, right? Heart bow to y'all, sending love, sending that heart chakra to y'all guys, right? Know y'all guys are loved. Know y'all guys are protected. Know y'all guys are blessed. Know y'all guys are supported. Know y'all angels are surrounding y'all right now at this moment, right? Just waiting for y'all to see the light. You know what I'm saying? In a space, right? And yeah, I just want to send a lot of love to y'all guys. And I love y'all guys so much. Grateful, honored, right? Honored, blessed. Thankful to be right here with y'all. Grateful to share, you know, my experiences, right? I love to sit here and just share what I'm experiencing and may it bring awareness, right? This is what Spirit was showing me the other day, because I was just like, and I hadn't really been, like, I haven't been going live or anything. It's just posting these videos. And Spirit is just like, or doing readings, right? Because I've been wanting to do a reading. I'm waiting, right? Because I feel like there's going to be a moment where I'm just going to come out and it's just going to be so powerful, right? But for right now, this is me just sharing experiences. But even me sharing the experiences and sharing what I go through and giving my knowledge and the wisdom to the, you know, what I know to the best of my knowing, right? What I share with y'all and the wisdom that I share from my experiences, you know, is beautiful. And it helps to bring awareness to the next person. And that's what they told me. They're like, Jack, you're here for awareness.
You're here to give awareness. You're here to enlighten people, right? Even if it's with one word, even if it's with one sentence that comes out, even if it's with one experience that you experience, that could spark awareness for someone who maybe was not sure, or maybe isn't sure if they believe or not. You know what I mean? The power of self, and the power of our angels, and the power of our spirit guides and our ancestors, and how much they come through to help us, and how much sometimes listen to what that little voice, listen to that little voice in your head, what it's telling you. Listen to that gut feeling. You know what I'm saying? But believe, when you're seeing something, experiencing something, it all has purpose for you. And it's all signs and synchronicities that the universe sends to us to show us, hey, there's more. Hey, I'm trying to show you I'm real, type situation, right? And yeah, I'm grateful. I'm so honored to be right here with y'all guys. Super grateful, thankful, blessed, guided, supported, loved, abundant, honored. Heart bow to y'all guys. Heart bow to y'all. I love y'all guys so much. Grateful for y'all. And yes, peace. I'll see y'all guys next time.